Hi everyone, I'm April and you're watching the Tangled Cat Speaks. And today is the second Sunday of February 2019. So I'm a little tired. I woke up feeling a little bit achy. I suffer from plantar fasciitis, so sometimes if you've got this, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that I sometimes get up out of bed and I can't walk. It literally feels like I've got hot needles poking into my heels as I'm trying to get from my bed to the bathroom. And it does work itself out as I'm walking, but the first few steps are just excruciating sometimes. And then there are days where I don't feel it at all. So it's just kind of one of those things that I guess flares up from time to time. But a friend of mine told me about these rocker kind of things that you get, and I ordered them. So they haven't come in yet, but I'm gonna try these. But it's a device that you put your feet on, and they're basically like these plastic half circles, and you put your feet on top, and then you rock your heels downward so that you can stretch your calves and your Achilles tendon and all that, which is what the tightness of that causes the plantar fasciitis. I'm showing you on my wrist like this is the same thing. Anyway, so she told me about that because she's got the same thing, and so I decided I would try it because she said it worked for her. So I was thinking about that a lot this morning, like it really needs to hurry up and get here because I will try anything. It is so terrible. So I've been pretty achy today with that. So I'm moving slower, doing things a lot slower. And of course I had to go buy groceries. And then after that I had to go to the hardware store because all the light bulbs in my house decided they all wanted to go out at the same time, and they're all different kinds. There's different types of lighting in the different rooms, like the ceiling fans and the little light fixture over the kitchen table and the one that's in the kitchen. They're all different, so they all have these different bulbs, and I'm like, oh my god, who did this? So I had to go figure out what kind of bulbs I needed. So that meant getting up into some of these high places on a chair. I have vertigo too, so that was a little distressing. To get up on the little kitchen chair. It's, you know, it's fine to sit in, but to stand up in, I was a little bit scared. I'm not actually afraid of heights. It's the thing that I'm on that I'm afraid of, like my collapse. Like I sit in these chairs every day, but standing on it, it's just going to fall apart. I just know it. So I was trying to get up and get all of these different bulbs out and make sure that I took one with me of each kind so that I can go down to Lowe's and get the right kind, because I didn't want to be doing that whole driving back and forth thing. And so I got everything out, and of course one of the shower heads busted the other day. My son had a friend over and they were working out in the garage, which is where my son has his weight bench and everything. And then they came back in a little while later and his friend wanted to shower, so he went in there, and of course the shower busted when he was in there. So I had to go pick up a shower head as well. So I took the one I had off, and I don't know anything about plumbing or anything. So of course I YouTubed what I needed to do, what I needed to get. And so I wasn't sure if I know I'm just rambling about my handyman services, but I wasn't sure if like all shower heads are like a universal size where they attach. So I was like, I better take that with me too, so I can make sure to get the right one, the right size and whatever. So I had this all ready to go, got dressed. I'm limping around the living room trying to find my shoes, find my keys, find my purse, get to the car, go pick up my groceries, head down to Lowe's. And as I'm in the parking lot trying to find a parking space, I realized I left everything that I meant to bring with me for comparison at Lowe's. I left it all on the kitchen table. So there I was limping around Lowe's trying to figure out and remember what it was I was supposed to get. But I got what I thought I needed, came home, and yes, did this all on my own. I got the right things. I got it all changed out. Everything works perfect again, and I'm happy, and I did it all by myself. It was a little frustrating having to get back up on the kitchen chair, or the kitchen chair to get up into the light fixtures to put the new bulbs in. But by that point, I was like, just do it. So I've been a little bit achy, put all the groceries away, did all of that. So now I'm just kind of like feeling a little blah, and I just want to like bum around and do nothing. And so I haven't knit a stitch at all today because I've been running around. I was a little bit chilly when I went outside, so I have this shawl on, and I don't know that I showed this to you before on any of the earlier podcasts. And if I have, I apologize, but I love this thing so much. This was the first, I think it was called Follow Your Arrow shawl by Isolde Teague. And basically what it was is, I think it's 5 different sections, and each section you had to choose A or B. And either A or B would be a different stitch type. Like there's this here and down here. This is different. This is different. And A or B, I mean, that could come up to something like 32 different combinations of shawls. So, and I don't remember the combination that I made with this one, but it's, you know, basically I could make it again with different choices and end up with a completely different shawl each time. So this is what I have. And the yarn that I used, the brown, was the first time I had ever bought yak yarn. And I think it was a brand called Lotus. I don't remember. I'll have to put it up here, but it came in the natural brown, and oh, it is just the most soft. This was the first time I fell in love with yak, and I love it. Look at what is going on right here. Ooh. But it's soft and it's so pretty. It holds stitches wonderfully, and it's warm. Even though this is so lacy, it's so warm. Now, the blue color that I have here is Misty Alpaca hand-painted sock yarn, which is, I think it's 70% merino and 30% alpaca. Beautiful, beautiful yarn. And I have another skein of this blue that I want to use in another project, but I love this shawl, and since I was wearing a blue top today, I decided I was going to try to coordinate. So I've been wandering around with my alpaca yak cape. Super shawl. So this is what I've got on, and I adore this thing, and it's a little bit chilly out. It was perfect. This was the perfect amount of coverage to just run from my car into the store and then back out. In the store, I had to take it off because the walking around, I got hot and everything. But it's small and light enough. I could just put it in my purse, pull it back out. And I don't need to worry about carrying a big, giant handbag. So that's what I'm wearing. Let's see. Where did we leave off last time? This was the Hulda Bear shawl from Fiber Tales, and I did finish one of the sides, and it's all bunched up because I still need to block this, but this is it. This is one of the sides of the applied border. It's a triangular shawl, so this is one side of the triangle. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. I love it to death. And I can't wait to finally get it done and block it. But it is taking me some time just because I do have to concentrate with it. And I gotta work and all of these things. I gotta run around Lowe's, and I gotta buy groceries, and I gotta climb up on kitchen chairs. So this one is taking me a little bit of time, and it's have gotten quite a bit done. I'm already started on the second side. but I've got a long way to go. But hopefully I will have it done by the next podcast. So that's 2 weeks away. I'm going to make this a goal because I really want to wear this. But I love it. So again, this was the Hulda Bear shawl from Fiber Tales, and the yarn is Bijou Basin Ranch 100% sport. I'm sorry, 100% yak sport. And I got fluff on my lip, on my tongue. And it is in the natural cream colorway. Loving it. So I've got quite a bit done, but I've got quite a bit more to go. I am about halfway through my 3rd skein. I don't know if I'm gonna end up having to break into a 4th skein, but that's okay. I've got 5. So the other thing that I had worked on was something very mindless, and I mentioned that I was going to make this. I showed you the 2 fingering weight skeins of yarn that I had held together in the Hedge Witch shawl for the contrast color. And those were some Fiddle Knits Stomp yarn in the Garden Gnome and Sandy Shore colorways. And I had mentioned last time that I saved 20 grams of both of each color on purpose so that I could use it to make a beanie. And I did. I chose a beanie that I've made before, which is the Basic Beanies pattern by Patons. And I got a pom. Woo! Look at that pom. This I got off of Amazon, so. But look at it. It's adorable. So this ended up being a total of 40 grams of the Stomp yarn, 20 in the Garden Gnome and 20 in the Sandy Shores colorway. It spiraled and pooled so cool. I just love it. It just looks so intentional, the way that the colors ended up. Just, oh, I love it. I made this, let's see, there's 2 sizes of the basic beanie. It's like a regular kind of slightly slouchy fitting beanie, and then there's a really slouchy. And I did somewhere in between that. And I love it. I did the tubular cast on again, because that's what I did the last time I made this hat for my son's girlfriend, and I really, really loved using that, and it's just so great. I used a different tutorial for the tubular cast on this time, and this one was, I believe it was Andrea Mowry, who does it a lot simpler than the other one that I had used on the other hat. It's the same result, but it was a little bit easier to work. So, yeah, I'm going to make sure that that's what it was, but I believe it was Andrea Mowry's tubular cast on tutorial on her YouTube. So that's what I used there. And I was worried that I wasn't going to have quite enough yarn to finish. And I knew that I had tons and tons and tons of tiny little balls of fingering weight yarn that I could go and rummage through for something to supplement with. And of course, I did run out just at the very last few decreases. So this tiny little bit of color here is a yarn that I had from 3 Irish Girls, and I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to put it up here. I just like went right out of my head. I know it has something to do with apples. Apple tree? Don't throw the apples. Something to do with apples, but I'll put the name here. And it was on the, I want to say it's a Springvale sock base that they have or had. I'm not sure if they still have it, but it was 3 Irish Girls. And so it had some of the same greens and browns. So I went ahead and put that in there. And with the palm on here, you can't even tell that I had to supplement. This is the kind of palm that you just tie on. I didn't cut the ties. I left them long. They're not even noticeable inside the hat at all. If you look inside here, you can kind of see even more clearly the color that I used to supplement. It's not very noticeable, and even if I chose to not wear the palm, I would be fine with it. I think my contrast color is close enough that it's fine. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to risk screwing up my hair more than what it is by putting on. Everybody puts these beanies on so gracefully on some of the other podcasts, and when I do it, it's very, very awkward. So you can wear it like this, and it's super slouchy, at least for me, and or I can fold it really low because it's got that extra long brim, and then bring my palm up higher. Okay. My bangs need to trim. Jeez Louise. Whew. Can't see in there. But I love it. Super cute. And look at these cute little fringes on my palm. I love it. Hello. I look like a hedgehog. Like I got a little hedgehog on my head. So I'm super excited I got this done. This was very mindless for those times where, like I said, lately I haven't really been feeling 100%. So there's that. Hey, look at that. My hair isn't so terrible. Yay me. The other thing that I worked on, I needed another quick and mindless project, something that was going to give me somewhat of instant gratification. So I went into my stash and I looked for something that I hadn't used for a long time. And what I came up with was this ball of self-striped yarn that was, the brand is called Online. And this was, I think it's the beach colorway. It's, I've had it forever. And I do remember starting, oh God, this was when I first started knitting. Long time ago. I think this had to be somewhere around 2007 that I got this yarn from a yarn shop near me that is no longer there. She had to close, but I've had the yarn forever, and I do remember starting a scarf with it, and I was doing 1x1 ribbing, and it was very long and tedious and boring, and I put it away for years and years and years, and then I ended up doing like a declutter and organizing kind of thing, and I decided I was gonna rip it out because I wasn't enjoying it and it was too boring, and I just decided to rip it out. I don't know what I did with all of that yarn other than this one little ball that actually ended up being more like 5 mini balls all in one thing. That added up to about 25 grams. I don't know where the other 75 grams went. Part of me is thinking that I was just so frustrated with it that I just tossed it. I don't know, because I don't know where it is. I don't have it anywhere. I don't know, but I ended up with this 25 grams of this yarn, and I decided to make the thermal lace cowl by Lisa. I'm trying to remember. I'm looking off into space like the answer is going to come to me. Lisa something with an L, I think, or Z. I don't know. I'll put it up here, but it's the thermal lace cowl, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry. And this is what I ended up with. Now, please, it's wavy on the edges because I don't know how to block cowls correctly. See, I got this little nubbin right here. What? I don't know. I guess it doesn't look that bad. At least on camera, it doesn't look too terrible. You can see down here on the bottom where it's a little pointier. I don't know what that is. I don't know how to block cowls. So anyway, this is the color that I had, and it's kind of like a washed out, it's not quite a bright color, but it's not really pastel either. It's like brights that are toned down with, I don't know, it's just like toned down. I don't know how to say it, like not dull, but I don't know how to say it, but it's super pretty. The stitch was very easy and mindless. It's a 2 did 2-row stitch pattern. Very, very simple to work. Well, I can't remember the gauge, the needle that I used. I think I used it was a US size 5. So what is that? A 3.75 millimeter, I believe. So that's what I used. I wish I had made it a few more stitches more around, because this is very up close to my neck. But I don't mind that either. It'll just fit nice up under a jacket or a sweater and still keep my neck warm. And it's the perfect height because I have a very short neck. Some of the cowls that I make are like covering my eyeballs. But I think I would have liked it just a little bit longer and drapier. So this, I think, was 100 stitches around. Maybe I could have done 120, would have been a little better for me, but I still love it and I'm still going to wear it. And it took the entire, no, I'm lying, it didn't take the entire 25 grams because I did have a few grams to put in my mitered square blanket. Yep, I stuck this on the other end, right here. This square here. So you can see it was a self-striping yarn. Really, really cool. Speaking of this blanket, I did this square, and this square this weekend. Because I was just doing mindless projects, things that I didn't really have to think about at all. That's why I didn't finish the second side of the Hulda-Bear shawl, because I just was feeling like I needed something to just plod through and not think about. I'm still knitting, I'm still getting things done, I'm just not having to concentrate. And not that the Hulda-Bear shawl is super difficult, because it's really, really not, but I do have to look at the pattern for each and every row. It's not one that I can just outright memorize. I don't have that good of a memory. Which is fine, because when I do get to working on it, I'm like, oh, this is so pretty, I just love working on it. So I'm just going with how I feel at the moment and not feeling guilty for any of the choices that I make as far as knitting, because I need my knitting to be my bliss, my solace, de-stressing, relaxation, meditation. So if there are times where I don't feel like having to pay attention to a pattern, it's okay. If I don't finish a pattern, you know, within a certain time frame, that's okay. I'm way behind on the cow for that Hulda-Bear, but I'm okay with that. I'm happy. It's nice to join some of these cows, and you know, sometimes the people who are hosting them are so generous that they offer prizes, but that's not why I'm in it. I'm more in it because I want to see the other people's versions of the same thing, the colors they chose, and you know, just to cheer everybody on. And you know, if I get it done, I get it done in time. If I don't, that's okay too. I never got this done in time when the mystery cow was going on. Took me forever. But that's okay. It's, you know, it's what I need, and it's what helps me get through. And it's very entertaining, very enjoyable, and I end up with something beautiful at the end. So, and actually I'm going to take this off because I'm getting a little bit warm. So the last thing as far as knitting goes that I'm going to talk about is my new yarn that I bought last year. It was the Where We Knit Indie Untangled subscription. This is the February installment. So as I said, I paid for this in December, all in full. So February is the first installment. I'll get another one in May, another one in August, and the last one in November. And it comes, each installment is a skein of yarn and a pattern to go with it. and you don't know what yarn you're getting, you don't know what the pattern is, you don't even know who the dyer or the designer are. Actually, no, I think you do know who the designer and the dyer are that are paired for each. I'm just making all kinds of noise. I think you do find out who the designer and indie dyer are that are paired for that particular month. You just don't know what you're going to get. So what I got this time, February 2019, the theme for this installment is Night on the Town. So I am going to show the picture and I am going to show the yarn, the picture of the pattern and the yarn. So if you are part of this subscription and you don't want to see it yet because maybe you haven't gotten yours yet, I think that they should probably already be out. But just in case, this is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to show this. So Indie Untangled, Where We Knit subscription for 2019. So this is Night on the Town, and it says they've paired Caroline of Life in the Long Grass and Detroit-based designer Cassandra Rizzardi, aka Rizzardi Knits. And this is the yarn from Life in the Long Grass, and it is purples and oranges and pinks and yellows, and it looks like this amazing romantic sunset, which if you're into Valentine's Day, it's perfect. It's a very romantic color. Now this is Night on the Town DK Twist Sock. It's 100% fine superwash merino by Life in the Long Grass, and I am in love with this color. I have been staring at this as I've been knitting these mindless projects and working on my Hulda Bear. It's been sitting on my ottoman right in front of me where I have my feet put up right next to it, and so I look up and there it is right in front of me, and I'm like, I just want to knit this so bad. But I wanted to show you all how glorious this color is, and I wish my lighting was just a little bit better, but it is so pretty. It really is romantic to me. It's just like a very romantic sunset. I'm in love. So that's the colorway. And then Rizzardi Knits, Cassandra Rizzardi, did the Distill Beret. So I like it. I think I'm going to go ahead and try making it. I don't know if you can see this little detail right here. That looks very interesting to me. I don't know what that is, but I like it. So, super, super exciting. Now, they did send a little swag. This is from Nerd Bird Makery, and it looks like she's she makes greeting cards. So they sent one of them, and this is called Merino Noir. Cheers to you, and it's a play on words. Instead of Pinot Noir, it's Merino Noir. Super cute. Sheepy wine. Cheers to you. Super cute little black and white greeting card that you can fill out however you like. And this is nerdbirdmakery.com. Very, very cool. And I am not giving this away. It is too cute. I'm going to display this somewhere because it's adorable. It is very adorable. And I want to see. I don't know anything about Nerd Bird Makery, but I want to go to their website because I would love this little bird. I would love to see if she's got any of these little birds in like a pin or something. Super cute. I don't know. I'm not mailing it to anyone. This is for me. It's all mine. So that's what I got for the Indie Untangled February 2019 Where We Knit subscription. So that's all as far as yarn. So books. I did finish. It just went right out of my head. The book we read for Delicious Death group in Ravelry for January. I did finish that. The name is escaping me, which is probably why I enjoy this group, because we come around to reading the same books again and again, and I don't ever remember what I read. Anyway, I finished the January book, and I found the February book, Cards on the Table, it was audio, and I thought it was going to be just a regular narrated audio book, but this was a BBC dramatized version. So it had many different voice actors portraying the different parts, and so that makes it a little shorter, because it's kind of abridged. You don't have a lot of the background description that you would in a novel, which I kind of missed. I like that stuff. I really enjoyed it. It was a little difficult getting used to a dramatized version that had some of that stuff cut out. But it was fine. It was enjoyable, but I think I would like to find, I know there's a version on audio somewhere out in the world that is narrated by Hugh Fraser, and he is one of my favorite Agatha Christie narrators. He just has the most wonderful voice. He really brings to life the characters, and he's done so many of Agatha Christie's books on audio that his voice is like top shelf. Like, if it's not Hugh Fraser reading it, like, why are you listening to it? Not really, but that's the way I feel. Anyway, that's my personal opinion. I love listening to Hugh Fraser. So I am going to try to find that, but I am really enjoying the dramatized version. It just took me a little bit to get used to that style of audiobook. So very interesting. I am on to a new book. Sarah Rain. Again, I'm still in her Haunted House series of books. This one is called Deadlight Hall. And I am only a chapter or two in. I'm on page 26. And so far what I'm gathering is it's an old, huge house that has been abandoned forever and ever and ever. And now the place has been bought up, and they're going to split it into condos or something like that. And of course, there's something strange happening, strange voices and strange things being seen throughout the building as they're renovating it. And the main characters that are involved in all of these series of books are getting involved, and it's always funny to me in these books because Sarah Rain writes it in such a way where they're like, they don't believe in ghosts, and yet they keep having these encounters, these supernatural encounters, but they're very adamant that just, well, maybe there's a chance that there could be some spiritual element left behind, but I don't believe in ghosts. It's funny. I really enjoy these stories though, so I'm glad I'm on this one. I don't know how many more are after this. I don't think too many. I think I'm almost caught up, but I'm enjoying my ghost stories. And I've also started listening to, since I'm just about done with Cards on the Table by Agatha Christie, I'm almost done with that dramatization. I think I've got like 30 minutes left. But I also started Eggs on Ice, which is a cozy mystery by Laura Childs. And she does several different series. Anyway, so I know she does a scrapbooking mystery series, and she does a tea mystery series. All of those books involve something to do with different types of tea. I don't know how that works, but I'm excited to read those too. I own all of those. I just haven't gotten around to reading them. The one that I'm talking about now, Eggs on Ice, is the most recent installment of the Cackleberry Club series, which is basically Amateur Sleuth. All of her books are Amateur Sleuth. I love those, that type of mystery book, Amateur Sleuths and stuff like that. And this one is involved around 3 women who run a cafe diner kind of thing, and they call it the Cackleberry Club, or the Cackleberry. Geez, now it's like going out of my head. But anyway, all of the titles have something to do with eggs. So this one is Eggs on Ice, and it is a silly fact about me, April Davis. I love eggs. I love eggs. I can eat eggs all day long. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Different styles of eggs. Deviled eggs, boiled eggs, fried eggs, scrambled eggs. I adore eggs. I won't say that I eat eggs exclusively, because that's not healthy. But that's what I was drawn to. I was drawn to this little cafe that serves all these little egg dishes. And it's cool because a lot of these dishes, there are recipes for them at the back of the book. I think there might be, I can't remember if there's any knitting patterns in it. I know that some of the ones that are knitting related have knitting patterns in them, but this one has recipes, like brunch style recipes at the back of the book. So that's kind of cool. But that's, I know it's something silly. That is the whole reason why I started reading the series, is because everything is titled something to do with eggs. So now you know all about April Davis and her egg fetish. Okay, that's weird. It's not a fetish. That's awkward. So yeah, that's about all that I have been doing as far as reading and knitting. I don't think I've started anything new as far as TV shows. I have gotten The Newsroom from the library. I got series 1 of The Newsroom. I haven't started it. I kind of have an idea of what it's about, but I haven't started watching it, so I don't know if I like it or not. That's about it. That's all I've been watching, other than YouTube channels. I'm kicking myself right now because I can't think of all of the names. I've been watching Sophia at the drunk as the drunk knitter, the Great Smell Guy, or the Smell Great Guy. Great Smell. Anyways, I think his name is, I'm not going to even say it because I don't know. I want to say Ross, but I don't know that that's it. But I started watching him, and he's really cool. And the other girl, I can see her face. It's right there. Super pretty girl. I'm going to have to put it here. She's very, very sweet. Rats, why can't I think of it? Why can't I think of it? Oh, it's driving me crazy. I just literally watched it before I started podcasting. But she's super sweet. And she just started she's about to start a knit along, a Pisces knit along. I'm not a Pisces, I'm a Capricorn. However, her knit along is going to be involving anything to do with water. So it's a water, or Pisces or something like that. So if your yarn or your pattern fit into that theme, then you're in. She allows whips and all of this. And I was super excited by it because I have mentioned before that not only am I knitting from stash, I'm trying to knit patterns that I already own, and I'm trying to knit down all my whips. And I do have a whip that is more than halfway done. It is the water shawl. And dang it, my memory is off today. I am so sorry. But it's the water shawl, and I'll put the designer here. And this is part of the Elemental series. I think I showed you all the fire shawl that I had done, and the earth shawl. So this is the water. That's 3 elements. She's got another one that's called air, and another one that's called the Philosopher's Stone. So those are the 5 elemental shawls, and I've had this on the needles for a couple years, several years. just languishing there in my pile, feeling all sad because nobody loves it anymore. And I do love it. And now that this Pisces cow has come up, I want to do it. It really has gotten me into really wanting to finish this shawl. So something to do with water. I'm going to pull this shawl out and I'm going to work on it and I'm going to be super happy. So I'm super excited. I'm sorry I can't remember your name, but I'm going to put it up here. Love you. So that's about all that I've been doing today. And I know that I'm very fidgety and very all over the place and my memory is wacko. I do apologize. I'm just not feeling 100% today. And I really shouldn't apologize for that because we all have those times, you know, where things are just a little bit overwhelming and just they wear on you physically and emotionally. And I'm feeling it today. That's all. You know, so I really shouldn't apologize for it. I'm sorry. I really am all over the place. I have mentioned that I am my mother's caregiver. She has Alzheimer's and it can be a little bit stressful. And just the last couple of days just feel very heavy. It's not anything specific that I can really point out. I just feel like there's a weight on me. And that's to be expected when you're somebody's caregiver. When you're your parent's caregiver, because the roles are reversed and it's not like you can say just treat them like they were your child, because you really can't, because there's still that ingrained respect that you have for your elders, for your parents. So, you know, if my 3-year-old is going to throw a tantrum for not taking a bath, well, there's going to be some repercussions. I can't do the same thing in the case of my mother. So it's a little bit stressful for me, and I am a very non-confrontational kind of person, and it takes a lot out of me to have to figure out ways to be that, because I have to for her well-being, and it's difficult. So if you're somebody's caregiver, shout out to you. It's a hard life and it's a good life, and you should be thanked and praised all the time. And if nobody is praising you, I am, because being somebody's caregiver is a big deal. So I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it here so that I can try to get in some more knitting on my Hilda shawl, and maybe put this thing through the ball winder because I love it. So I will see you all in 2 weeks, and hopefully I've made a little bit more progress, and hopefully I will be running on all 4 cylinders, and or is it 6 cylinders or is it 8 cylinders? I don't know. However many cylinders I'm supposed to be running on, hopefully I'll be running on them. I wish you all the best for the rest of the day, the rest of your week, the rest of the month. And enjoy your crafting time. Enjoy every moment you can of relaxation and self-care, because it is vitally important, especially if you are a caregiver for someone else. Take care of you, please. And feel free to comment below if you are someone's caregiver or you know someone who is someone else's caregiver, and maybe some of the things that, you know, if you just want to vent, I'm here. And if you want to get a hold of me, I am on Instagram, Ravelry, and Twitter as the Tangled Cat. So if you would like to make any kind of private conversations in any of those platforms, you totally can. I will see you all next time, and thank you for coming by and hanging out with me. Bye-bye.